All right, let's give Jesse a call here. I'm doing it a little bit different because I'm still working on a couple of kinks here. I'm gonna be trying out some new stuff for bringing in guests and listening to music together here in the future. So for now, this way seems to work. We're gonna do it this way. Oh, okay, so I guess we're waiting for Jesse. I have to turn on my light anyway. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna turn back on the tunes. No, Nathaniel, you can't see me. You'll see me in the video chat in a sec. Oh, oh, here we go. Didn't even notice that. Okay, here we go. I did not even realize that my other light wasn't on. Alright, here we go. Let's try again. Come on, Jesse. Oh, here we go.
Aloha.
Here we go. Alright, let's switch this over. Bang! Here we are. Jesse, how you doing, buddy?
Good. You?
Always good, man. Always good.
How does it work better for your guys' screen if I do it up and down or side to side?
That works fine, buddy. That works totally fine.
Sweet.
So how's
I can
life
dig it.
out in BC?
Uh, you know what? Weather-wise, it's pretty good. Community-wise, it's fucking devastating, man.
Yeah.
It's devastating. Losing Matt this week is worse than a bummer. It's the ultra. It's a pretty wicked blow, man. It's pretty. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, see now, I never met Matt. I just recently, because we've been friends on Facebook for a while. I've been a fan of his band for a while. Watched his work. All my friends
Hmm.
know him. So I reached out because I know about his recovery and stuff, and I reached out and I asked him to be on the show, and it never went further than a couple messages. But when I heard about what happened, it felt like a punch in the side of the fucking head. And I was sitting in this exact spot that I'm sitting in right now, and it was just, it
Yeah.
was like I was reading one of his posts about something ridiculous between him and Brittany, and then now Brittany's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I bet a lot of people are still trying to comprehend and understand if it's real. But I do have an announcement. I do have a little bit of what people might find as solace. But I work with Cursed Earth Apparel, and that's
Hmm.
official now. We're going to be making it more official in the coming months. Me and Reed are going to be getting a design for Braden, and we're going to be doing a
Yeah.
Matt Depper memorial shirt and possibly a patch as well. And all
Nice.
monies generated will be going directly to Brittany and the baby. so everybody can have their little piece. The art is coming directly from Braden. He's the only person I could think of to do the.
Yeah, I don't know. I
He asked. He
yeah.
asked, and he's like, I would really like to do. I'm a graphic designer, and as he was saying that, I was typing up like, I'm looking for the fucking guy who does the art.
He's good at it.
Well, I have a Death Machine shirt, and it's one of my fucking favorite.
Oh
shirts.
yeah, man, he's fantastic.
It fucking slays. Yeah, I really wish I could have met Matt. Everybody I talked to says we would have been really good buddies, and
yeah, man.
Just I feel it's a memento mori for everybody. Just a little reminder to kind of do your best every day to try and break. Because everybody I've spoken to, they have nothing but the most positive things to say about their experiences with him, and I think that everybody needs to fucking. Everybody can push a little bit harder to make other people feel that way as well. I know that I fucking do my best every single day to do that.
Damn straights, man. No, I feel like my relationship with Matt was a little different than everybody else's. And of course everybody's going to say that about anybody, but like the reason being is because like him and I weren't drinking buddies, right? By the time I met him in my life, I had quit drinking. So he never really got to party with Blackstar kind of deal. So like when he kind of kicked onto the scene, like he showed up to Armstrong Metalfest. I forget which year it was, but it was a long time ago. A long time ago. It was probably 2013 or 2014 or something like that. And he's 25, so at that time he was like just coming of age kind of deal, right? And so like I first kind of met him in passing when he was just a fucking kid, man. And like not just a kid, but like an ambitious kid. And then and then Apollyon started kicking it up. And like every band in the Okanagan scene, we really encourage like West Metal does our best. Like we've been around for forever. And like, when we see other bands that are in it for the same reasons we are, for the fuck of it, then like, we really promote each other and we try to, build up what we have. And he was an instrumental part, like him and Apollyon were instrumental in doing that. But the reason like for my relationship with him is it's because like I had always been a part of the organization, putting on shows with Apollyon and always working with him, and my relationship was mostly professional, and seeing his development and seeing someone like from like a a youth, like looking at the world and being like, I want, like, and like looking at me and being like, I want to be on the Armstrong Metal Fest stage. And then seeing him when he gets to be on the stage, and it's like the biggest fucking thing in his world. And then it getting bigger and bigger, and like watching something actually snowball, like not super fast, but like seeing it snowball and seeing his enthusiasm never wane, and just like working towards getting there and putting in the fucking grunt work where it's playing to you're playing the bad shows and playing the good ones, and just relentless with his energy, and he and a kindred spirit in my sense. Like if I'm playing in front of 4 people, like it's the same energy. Like I keep putting out the same amount of energy, as if it's not like, I could be playing in front of 400 people. I will continue to put out the same amount of energy. The difference is mirroring the energy. When the crowd has got, you got 400 people just loving it, you're going to naturally amp up a little bit more. But, like him, he fed off of it. And I just, like, it puts a lot of things into perspective. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of the pandemic and everything, but I would just like to comment on something that was stolen from us over the past couple of years. And what that is it's the high moments that people like him and I live off of, right? Like, you know, it's tough. You know, he had his struggles. I've had my own personal struggles, and there's hundreds and thousands of people who have their hundreds and thousands, there's millions of fucking people that are having their own goddamn struggles. And just like, you know, not being able to play shows, not being able to get together and make music, you know, where you're forced to try to make music on your own, like you're robbed of those really high moments. And those high moments, man, like they carry you through those low fucking moments. And you take away those, like that sucks shit. You know, and I fucking, you know, it's one hell of a ride. Like Matt, like one of the things, you know, if you look at a scene, I've been really contemplating in my mind what Matt was in our scene, and god damn it, he was a landmark. You know what I mean? Like, you can talk to, like, you know, when you're talking to someone about a specific region, like, I don't know, like we're talking about Vancouver, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, like, you know, have you ever been to the Moose? You know what I mean? Rickshaw. You start naming your landmarks, right? Like, you start talking about the Okanagan scene, you start talking about your landmarks just to see where whoever you're talking to like navigate, right? And fucking, if you got the chance to be with that landmark, you don't forget that fucking landmark, right? I just, and I think that there's a lot of landmarks out there who could use words of encouragement where they're not getting the words of encouragement right now. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It's a really tough thing. And I could literally dedicate this next, hour, 2 hours, however long we're going to sit here and talk about it, but it's just, I don't know if I have much more to say without getting really down on it, but I think I'll leave it there, man. You know, I'm pretty happy that Mason decided to name the stage after him. I'm really sad that that Brittany's going to have to go through a struggle like that on her own. Like, she's got a community around her now. If Matt left anything, he left that, you know. Not that that was his, but she had it as well. But, I think we'll rally.
I definitely think has been seen already. The
Oh yeah.
outpouring, the absolute outpouring of support. Like I said, I barely knew him, and at first I instantly reached out to all of them and just said, "This is what I can do." And it was more of a sense of,
Yeah.
my friends are fucking destroyed by this, and we're all this Western Canadian scene. We all know each other. When we get together, it's like a fucking small town. You know?
That's what I mean, man. Landmarks.
I wish you could have been out at Loud as Hell last year. It was fucking insane. It really was.
Yeah,
But we're all gonna be out.
I'm kicking my own ass about it, trust me.
That's okay. This is your number 10 now. So this one's gonna be.
Oh, I know.
And now.
Well, because Jeff Burry got me one of these. Well, I don't know if it was Jeff, but I know that he orchestrated it. But this is our 10-year commemorative plaque or whatever.
Nice, buddy. That's awesome.
So,
but see, that's what I mean. So
I know that when I'm not saying that Jeff's getting a plaque, but he better have space on his wall.
So, Armstrong this year. Now, I guess I can officially announce this. I talked to Jesse about coming on as a media sponsor. He said that we could come out this year. So Trash Talk will be out there this year. And if everything goes right, my partner's supposed to be doing her driver's test this weekend and getting her license this weekend. So if everything goes right, we'll be coming out with a good camper and everything, be able to do some interviews in a nice, like, air-conditioned camper and keep the good fucking media coming for
Hey.
everybody. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh man.
Fingers crossed. But
If you have an air conditioner at Armstrong, you're gonna be a popular person.
well, and that's what I mean. I want to get some good interviews, and I want to keep the band comfortable. I want to keep the vendors comfortable. I want to interview people that really make the festival fucking tick, and clink and clank and fucking all of the good sounds that come out of it. So
Yeah, man.
so you said on your post, there's bands that are playing, there's bands that aren't playing. Now, you said the lineup is full. So,
Yeah.
this is a fairly easy question to answer, but can you give me my bottle of water, please?
I'm gaming, baby.
Okay, that's fine. She's gaming. So, is there going to be any border hopping this year? Is there going to be anybody
Yes.
coming from the States?
Yes.
Oh, that's spicy. That's spicy and nicey. Okay. Are they fast? Or are
And
they
and
heavy?
and also and gambling, and they're heavy and fast.
Gambling and heavy and fast.
Oh no, I'm gambling. We're gambling with going from the States.
Oh,
We figure it's probably gonna be fine.
by then?
Like we're basically kind of setting everything up, like in the event that everything just falls apart, like yeah, it should probably be fine. The United States is Friday night and Canada is Saturday night.
Yeah.
So that's not letting anything slip. That's me being pretty vague, but also giving you some information.
Oh.
I'm not. I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to get too much more into the guessing game of the bands because, as most people know, I'm not great at holding in things. Honestly, if you pay attention, like sometimes I remember one year I made a post about the bands on Facebook, and then I posted the entire band list on my comments on purpose, and then edited the entire band list so that it said something different, so that if you looked at the edit history, you could see it, but otherwise you wouldn't see the full band list. So I like to drop Easter eggs because I'm a Marvel fan.
I was looking in the comments today to see if there was any questions that had been asked that didn't get hit that I could bring up. And like, I don't know. Okay, so and I'm not gonna ever shit on the musical community, other than a totally ironic way that affects me as well. Especially now that my fucking new band is getting ready to hit the stage, but for the amount of fucking promotion the bands do when they gotta play shows, and the amount of talking and fucking interacting and networking that we do when we're face to face, and the things that we talk about, people are not fucking good at interacting and fucking being effective on people's posts. Like, I was like expecting, like I was looking at that post, and like there's a bunch of shit I could ask about that, and then I was looking in there, I'm like, what the fuck? Like nobody's asking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is Odinfist playing?
No.
Oh, I see. I can see it.
Oh, I shouldn't have let that slip.
You're giving me the Mona Lisa smile, man. I can see it.
No. I don't. No, I don't think Odinfist is playing this year. I'm like, as far as the lineup that it looks like right now with all of our backups, no, Odinfist isn't going to be playing this year.
Oh, okay. Okay, well I guess you can look forward to Jesse.
And now we can't narrow down the lineup you just asking if bands are playing,
No,
and I
I'm
just
not
say
going to
yes
do
or
that. I just wanted to
no, and
ask
you
if
judge my
I just
reaction.
wanted to ask if it was Odinfist specifically because I saw that comment on the post. So
Oh,
yeah,
what did I say about it? No.
I think I don't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said I don't know. I think it was a fairly inconclusive answer. Okay, so
Yes, because it was in writing.
on fucking Facebook, no less. Everybody
I
should
just
take
yeah.
everything said on Facebook is totally inconclusive and open ended.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah, no. So I'll tell you everything that I can tell you about the festival. So let me just think here. So uh, I'm going to tell you what's not happening at the festival that I wanted to do, but then I decided not to do it. I didn't decide it. The council does. Like you have to realize there is a
You're not.
lot of
Yeah, it's
people
not just
involved
you that
with the
makes the
festival.
decisions. Yeah.
It's not me. I'm one of five primary voter. Well, five primary small council, 10 council members. But so we were thinking about doing 3 stages with multiple venues and one big venue, and so that we could have as many uh, bands as we possibly can and throw the biggest party possible. But basically, we kiboshed that because we haven't done the festival in 2 years, 3 years. We're gonna do what we know so that we don't fuck it up and have to like get stressed out with changes and shit. So we're gonna run the festival the same way that it has in years prior. I think we're reorganizing the inside of the festival, trying to move the beer gardens closer to the stage, if not like right up to the stage. Um, we're gonna start the festival a little bit earlier, I think by about half hour, and then we're gonna try to end the festival a little bit earlier. So we're gonna shift the whole thing earlier, just because of not just turnouts, but just like I feel like it's gonna work out better if the festival is finished by 11:30, 11:45. Um, there's plenty that happens after 12 o'clock out in the campground that is just a lot of fun. So that those are things that we're going to be doing. Uh, the band budget was increased. Um, what other things have happened? Oh, have you seen Squid Game?
Oh Lord. Yeah, I have seen it. So you guys are gonna
So
do a
I
Squid
think
Game.
we're gonna do a Squid Game, like we don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but I think we're gonna do like a Squid Game style survivor battle kind of deal. Yeah, yeah. One of our members runs something like this already down in Grand Forks, so they're gonna be putting together a few things. I Nothing's confirmed yet, but like just to give you like an idea of the kind of games that I'm thinking about. Like again, nothing's confirmed. I haven't decided anything, but oh, so I'd like to have them themed after previous year's headliners. So one of the games that I was thinking of is a Necrogoblicon style game, and have the game be called Dressed as Goblins. Basically, you give the contestants green paint and put them on a big tarp, and they have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to make themselves look as much like a goblin as possible.
Nice. I like that a lot. That sounds
Like
fucking.
like
It sounds like you're gonna have
like
some
that kind of thing.
fucking
And
like ridiculous painted green people running around in the campgrounds at night, and it's gonna be fucking
totally
nuts.
on purpose. Totally on purpose.
Oh man, there's gonna be mud and green
And
paint everywhere.
and then the one thing from Squid Game that I want to keep consistent with it is I want to participate in the games because I think it's a lot of fun. And so I kind of want to be like the crazy old man from like Squid Game that can't win, well, fuck it, I will try to win.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
not.
like, but also made up the games.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
down with
yeah.
that. I
I
want to get
probably
in
won't
on
get in
that.
trouble for discussing the games. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be sweet. What else can I tell you about it? Yeah, bands. No, beer helmet march. Oh, oh, I can't announce that. We will have thrash wrestling back.
Nice.
Um, and it's gonna be big. Um, I am. Yeah, I can't announce anything on that part of it. Nothing's confirmed. I know Nick could give me some shit, but it's
That's
it's going to
okay.
be elevated. Okay, it's going to be elevated from years
I'm not
prior.
gonna pressure you for anything because I understand what a difficult position it is as it is. So I'm not gonna bust your balls about it. I'm just glad to have you back on the show because like I'm just able to get the show back on the air. So I'm really stoked to have you back on and getting the fucking interviews flowing
Hmm.
again and be able to talk about Matt as well and be able to talk about the things that are going to be done in his memory and also be able to get on this year
Yeah,
as a
man.
media sponsor because that is like that's a big stepping stone for me. I wish I could say I'm on it with my band, but we haven't been around for long enough to really like I can't really say like jump onto anything like that. We need to get a couple of markers down first. We haven't even played a show yet. So to be
Yeah,
able to
that's how
do
it
it,
goes, man. You're gonna slug through it,
I'm stoked to
and
do it again because to do it with World Class White Trash was a fucking terror show in my life. And I look
yeah.
back on a lot of it fondly, if not hazily. So like with Horrify now, Horrify seems to be a lot more like a natural of a project, and the work effort is more uniform. Not I'm not going to say uniform, but it's definitely less forced. Um, it's more fun, and we're gonna have a really good time doing it. But I'm really stoked to be able to do this for you and to be able to jump on as a media sponsor and come and get some interviews with these bands so that these bands can properly like have a piece to take and say, hey, yeah, we did this interview. If you want to know some stuff about us, here you go. Because in the end, that's what this is all about: is helping the
Dude,
bands.
that stuff is super. That stuff is super important.
So
Like I've been asked for it by like when we've been going through grant applications and that kind of stuff. Like they look for links like that. So yeah, it's real important.
So another thing that I got a studio sponsor now. So I have a space
Nice.
that I can bring bands into and record full audio and 4K video of these bands. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be doing 15-minute interviews and then 3-song 15-minute sets of these bands and throwing those on the page now. So it's going to be
Oh shit,
yeah,
hey?
it's a little bit of an upgrade in quality. For the last couple months, I've been busting ass behind the scenes, me and my team, and got the new computer and made a couple new connections. Shout out to Nick the Music Dude because he's really helped me out here on this, and he's really like
Yeah.
he's stoked on the project as much as I am, and it's not like he's like, oh, you got to do this for me in return. This has got to be. It's really exciting to meet another person like that because every time I come across him, I want to just put him in my fucking pocket and just like stick him up on my shelf and collect them so that nobody else can fuck with them. Right? You want to keep those little pieces.
Those people those people are super important. It's literally what the scene lives off of.
Exactly. So what the big future fucking plan is to have like an audio tree setting and then eventually be able to go do this for bands at shows and have bigger bands
Mhm.
come in and be like, hey, we're gonna do the show, but maybe we'll go see Nate Trash and fucking do a couple songs in the studio too. But we'll see what happens because in the end, it's all about the bands. And if it doesn't add value to what the bands are doing, then I gotta rethink. I gotta rethink my fucking strategies.
Damn straights, man. That's wild. That's good. That's really good. It's yeah, just like what you said there. If it doesn't add value, then well, like that's what they need. That's what you want to do. So
Not
yeah,
just
fucking rights, man.
monetary
You're doing well.
value, not just monetary value, but personal
No,
value.
just value. Period.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
traditional value, artistic value, like something to make the band feel better about what they're doing, to make the band look better about what they're trying to offer as a band, stuff like that. So speaking of bands, have you checked
Mm-hmm.
out any new bands? We talked about this last year. Have you checked
Yes.
out any new bands? What are you looking at for new bands right now?
What am I looking out for new bands right now? So, have I checked out new bands? I have. The list is on my phone because I make a little.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
I
You
kind
talked
of
about that last time too. I make a little list myself.
I collect them. I collect them on a list, and because like I'm so bad at remembering names, but I constantly check out like the new music playlist, and I check out things like that. And I, my God, why do I have to be so vague about all of my shit? So I have been forced to to check out. Oh, how can I say this without getting into trouble? I signed an NDA. Um, I was forced. I did. I signed a non-disclosure agreement
Yeah, but
about
then I
this.
don't want to. I don't want to get you in
It's
trouble.
fucking for real. I know. I'm just trying to say how the best. Anyways, I've been forced to check out approximately 42 albums from new music and um, and I did and man, you wanna sink some time to something. Like listen, like just think about listening to fucking 42 albums. Just think about that. Think about what like 42 albums means.
Yeah,
It means this fucking thing never leaves your ear,
I know. I got one
and
of those
like
too. I
and
got one of those too. For
and
yeah.
and you listen and you just like and like I'll be honest, there was a lot of gems. There was a lot of gems, and there was some not so gems.
I know how that feeling
And
is too because you expect it to be good, and you're like, man, this band presents themselves so well, and then you hear it and you're like, how do they have 10,000 monthly listeners? How do they have fucking 15,000 followers on Instagram? Like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the they don't this band doesn't even play to a fucking click track. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Even my band plays like to a fucking click track when we record. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, when you record, I know like Odinfist, we don't use a click live.
No,
But
not live.
you know
Not
why
live.
we don't use a click live? It's because the amount of times that the sound on stage is just such horse shit, and you're just like and like everything falls apart, and you're up there, and like if you're to a click. Or like, thank God we don't use samples because we use samples, we would be right fucked.
Oh man.
Like you have to play to a click with samples, but like but we don't do that, and it's for our benefit because like we play a lot of not so great shows, and the sound is not great, and then everything falls apart on stage, and like it doesn't fall apart, but like we can bring ourselves back together when the train starts teetering off the tracks. Like if the sound goes, Brad can't hear nothing but the bass guitar, and if I start getting down into the low notes where I'm not doing much, but the guitars are doing lots, he like yeah, it's just we don't play to a click because it's just we like to keep things as organic as possible because we can heal really fast.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if technology is involved, we're boomers.
So I feel exactly. I totally agree because when you're jamming with a band, when you're jamming with your band, when you've got this group of guys, you've been together for a couple years, you're jamming together, you know how to fucking do it. You know what? We know when someone's missing something. You can fucking pick that. You can pick that end up. You can keep playing through it. You're not gonna fucking stop because you can't fucking keep track again. Okay, now before I get back to that, Nathaniel from No Hope for the Lost is in the chat right now, and they had good times. They had a good fun time at Loud as Hell with their backing tracks. They still played through it though. They fucking slayed. First thing in the morning Saturday, they fucking killed it. And also, my drummer Russ from False Flag / Megiddo from the Third Chamber, from a bunch of bands that you might know. He plays drums for Horrify now, unfortunately for him. He was also the co-founder of the band, so it's not really unfortunate for him. It's kind of what he wants to do.
Nice.
He's an idiot.
Perfect. He chose to be there.
He's an idiot like me. He's a fucking idiot like me. So he said...
That's all you can ask for.
So he said he is not going to be playing live to a click either. Now, this is what I want to get back to. When you play with a group of guys, you know the feel of it. You fucked up in jams before. You know how to play through it. Everybody knows you don't stop and start the song over again. Ever. Ever. So, unless you're jamming. Now, on stage, you can't do that. You can't fucking do that. So...
I played in a band that did it.
World Class White Trash did it too towards the end. And that's when I knew this shit was fucking burning.
I played in a band where they got halfway through the song and then it fell apart and the drummer decided it was no longer gonna happen, and he was like, no, we didn't start it over, we decided that the song was done.
We've done that too. So these things happen. These things do happen, and you gotta shake them off. But when I think of like playing to a click on stage, I think of Devin Townsend and his fucking corral of session musicians. Like Bloodstock, he played Bloodstock.
Yeah.
He played Bloodstock 2020, 2019 or something. I was watching the video of it one morning. It was a great way to start a morning. And he's like, I just met up with these guys a couple weeks ago. We jammed for 14 hours all together. And we're gonna play this. We're gonna play these songs for you. And I was like, those guys are definitely playing to a fucking click track. I know. And of course, Devin Townsend,
guaranteed.
And they're fucking throwing down. And Devin Townsend is a master. That was one of the first fucking... Strapping Young Lad was one of the first fucking Canadian bands that I ever fucking heard when I was the sweet, tender age of fucking 12 years old, 13 years old. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I've heard of bands obviously Slipknot, Deftones, Korn. Children of Bodom was a big one when I was fucking just coming out of middle school. And then it was Strapping Young Lad. And I was like, these guys are Canadian. And then it came with, a couple years later, 3 Inches of Blood came up too. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
That's when I started really feeling out. Maybe this is somewhere where I could go to as I get older. And We Found the Body was also another Canadian band that got me into it. And their front man Carter, I got his name on the back of my vest. He was one of my heroes coming up. But Devin Townsend is a fucking Canadian marvel, and I love him to pieces.
Damn fucking straight,
my
dude.
little rant about Devin Townsend. But so bands on stage, what I've noticed coming back, with Loud as Hell, and then the first wave of restrictions leaving and bands coming back slowly, a lot of bands have gotten braver with what they bring on stage. Because before the pandemic, bands were shrinking their drum kits down so that they didn't have to carry so much. Amps were starting to get smaller. People were starting to fucking use combo amps and stuff, and rely on microphones. And starting to see less gear and more more aggression, I want to say, in some cases. And now bands are coming back with laptops and backing tracks. And some bands got drum machines. And way more bands than before had keyboard players now. So, that's rad. I love a solid keyboard player, fucking for sure. Female representation is through the fucking roof, which is fucking fantastic. All these changes are fucking coming through. And it's did we forget the fucking technical difficulties that came along with this stuff? Did we forget about batteries that die and cords that get like disconnected. It's like you got a Mac on stage. I don't know if you know, but your battery's connected with a fucking magnet. Like, like if that disconnects.
How many times have you? How many times have you kicked the kick drum mic?
Oh, I don't even want to fucking talk about it because it happens. It happens even when I'm standing close to a drum kit that just has a mic. Like, okay, so the studio space that I'm sponsored by, I go to his place a little while ago so we could talk about this. I'm actually going there tomorrow to film some content for Horrify. So keep your eyes on the lookout for some fucking vocal playthrough videos of Horrify tunes because they're gonna be the chef's kiss. Nick is an absolute marvel, and he's been learning more, and he's been teaching me more, and he's been sending me like courses and stuff. But
Hold on. Did you say the chef's kiss?
yes, the chef's kiss.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I really like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
That's a new one I've been coming out with for a while. So I was over his place, and he's got his studio. You go downstairs, and there's a space, and he's got all the treatment on all the walls, and he's got the drum kit in the corner. And there's nothing around there. It's nice, spaced out. So I go over into his fucking office, and I take my jacket off, and like we're getting set up the cameras and everything, set up the chairs. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go put my jacket out in the room. The drum kit's in the corner. Somehow I walked close enough to nick the fucking bass stand, that little fucking 2-foot claw traditional drum mic. I fucking clipped that fucking stand going to put my jacket down. And it was in the corner of the room. Like, there was no path. And I still clipped it. And when you brought up kicking the fucking drum mic, it was like I had a flash memory, like a fucking flashback from war days long past.
I've been there. I've been there, and with the amount that I move on stage, I hit a lot of shit, and back when I had long hair and I was windmilling while running around, I more often than not. Thank God I don't do that anymore. Like that was getting a little bit much.
I'm getting back into it. I got the hair coming back. I got a new tattoo on the side of my head too. If you can see that. Oh
yeah.
Can you see that sweet little treat? That was fun. It got a little tingly behind the ear. So
I bet.
Yeah, luckily the guy was really quick. He was really quick. So I'm growing my hair back out because I haven't been on stage long enough. I forgot how stupid it is to have long hair on stage when you're a frontman. So I'm going to be sweating and brushing it out of my face.
Oh, yeah.
And well, not just that, my daughter won't let me get my hair cut. Every time I bring it up, she's like, no. Oh. And she laughs at me. So I use it as this fucking really good fucking manipulation tool. Where if she doesn't wash her hair properly when she has a bath, that means Dad is going to go shave all his hair off, and she can watch. So let's just say
she's like, oh, I'm going to wash my hair.
Yeah, no, Dad, no. I can wash my hair. So okay, I want to smell it.
No,
when you're done.
I got this.
And it's like, okay, sweetheart, I love that you're washing your hair.
I feel that, man.
I love the enthusiasm, but you gotta like rinse all the bubbles out. Because she comes out with like a little soapy curl still, and it's like, Serenity, you can't do that. So we got more comments in the chat here. Russ said, because I said I kicked my buddy's bass mic. So he said, well, at least he didn't break a fucking glass in his basement. Funny story about the basement where we jam. Russ's basement is all fucking concrete, and he's like, don't bring a glass down here because you're gonna break it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna break it. So I brought it downstairs. So I brought it downstairs. It was good. I had it down. And I was like, I gotta get a refill. And I fucking go to walk out, and it falls out of my hand and fucking smashes into a million pieces. Russ has little dogs, so it's very fucking important about not having glass. So actually, I'll go grab glass. I got an actual water bottle. I'll go grab it right now.
Hi, chat.
Proper
How are you
Alex, my partner,
guys
my
doing?
sweetheart partner in
Make
crime,
sure you
got me a
guys send
proper
him lots of
water
comments.
bottle. So this goes along with like my trying to cut back more on the alcohol intake. I don't want to do any sort of like drinking at social events anymore now that I'm doing the podcast thing, because now that's kind of like where I work. And I'm not going to drink at work, so it just
Yeah.
doesn't fit. Like having beers at supper with my brother with over a family dinner is a different thing, but you know, got water bottles now. I got a cool coffee cup now too, and they're all fucking covered in stickers, so I can keep my fucking beverages with me. You know. Now I'm not gonna
Yeah.
break any glass.
Oh,
unless it's full.
I get that.
So now that I've yammered on and on and on and on
That's a good one.
about obvious, I've just been stoked to talk to you, buddy. It's been a while.
Fucking A rights, man. Dude, when you made that comment there about going overboard on shit, I said, I was like, we could do a
Yeah,
podcast
buddy.
on fucking
Yeah.
going over. I'd like to hear a few things going overboard on stuff.
Fucking right.
Okay. What's one? This is one of my favorite stories that I tell, and it's one that some people have heard probably before. So, in 2009, we basically we had all the songs done, and we had like five songs that needed a title. We took a Harlequin novel, we flipped to a random page, we picked a cool sounding word, and we were like, this is going to be a song. One of the words, Dark Eyes. All right, one of these songs is going to be called Dark Eyes. Go through. In the Moonlight. It's going to be called In the Moonlight. Brainwork. Done. We're going to write a song called Brainwork, right? We went through and we picked out five songs. And then, and because it was out of a Harlequin novel, I was like, I wrote down the word Smut Blizzard. Because like for some reason I think Smut Blizzard was in one of the things, right? And like Tyler looks at me, he's like, we're not writing a song called Smut Blizzard. And so then I like wrote like Drizzle Tums. No, that sounds like an evil wizard. Odinfist would write a song about an evil wizard. And like my singer looks at me and he's like, no way in hell we're ever doing that ever. Don't even bring that up. A couple of years later, I bring it up again, and then I proceed to bring it up every single year, every time we go to write songs. We've been a band for 16 years now. So, you know, so I brought it up every year. And then I think it was AMF 2017, 17 maybe it was, maybe 18. It was 17. I decided that I wanted to bring Drizzle Tums to life.
Brazil.
So
Yeah.
to bring Drizzle Tums, Smut Blizzard backwards to life, I contacted one of my buddies who goes to Comic-Con all the time and builds costumes.
Yeah.
So he built a Pornomancer costume.
Pornomancer.
Where he was a wizard. That strictly deals in pornography. And so he built his costume, and then I got a friend of mine, Tanner Revac, to make a sample, so like a 2-minute sample to play over the loudspeaker, and then I went to Kamloops and I choreographed a 2-minute fight scene with the wizard. And now the thing is I didn't tell my lead singer about any of this.
Well, he wouldn't have approved.
Right?
Why do you need such
It
negative
cost me
energy
money.
when you're gonna film an epic film? You don't need that negative energy around you, so just go ahead with it.
Okay. So there's no film. So what I did though was it was at Armstrong Metalfest, and I told my singer, I was like, in the middle of this song, I need you to stop. I want to do some thank yous through the mic, right? And so middle of the song, I told the rest of the band, right? And I go out to the mic, right? And I'm like, and I like look, and James or Tyson or whoever it was turn the sample on. Smoke starts coming in. out comes the wizard, right? My singer, fucking clueless. He looks at this. He looks at what's going on, and he's so confused. He's like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" And then, like, all of a sudden, someone handed me a sword from the side of the stage, and I, with a sword, fought this wizard for 2 minutes, and my singer, like, I had to make a contingency with the rest of the band in the event that he quit the band on the spot. And I was just like,
Fuck it,
well,
let's
he
give
didn't
her.
quit the band. And you know what he said to me? He's like, if you wouldn't, have done it so well, done as well as it was, I probably would have been pissed. But like, it was overdone, and I was very excited about it. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
another thing that I overdid with Odinfist was specifically the album that you were playing before I came on here, the our newest album, Let the Gods Decide. So we wanted to do a concept album, but we didn't have a concept. And fuck, hearing the four of us argue about books, like, well, if we're gonna do it on a book, what are we gonna do it on, right? And I'm like, fucking, I'd like to do an American Gods concept album, and then and just like everybody's just nobody can agree on fucking anything. It's
That's not even Neil Gaiman's
so
best works.
we're like, well, let's. Oh, you want to talk Neil Gaiman?
No, you keep going. You keep going. We'll get into that.
We
can
could
get into
go
that.
down that path.
You keep going with what you were talking about.
Because I'm a very large book person. Anyways, um, so we decided to we were like, okay, well, let's come up with our own concept, and we're like, okay. So we thought on it, and then I was like, you know what, guys? And then I came up with an idea for a story, and I told them it, and they're like, okay, well, we need like a bit more material, and I was like, okay, I will write a book. So fast forward about 6 months or so, words, like a full novella about the book, Let the Gods Decide, right? Went into like severe detail, the whole story, everything, right? And then I basically gave it to each of the guys, and I was like, okay, here's your guys' source material. Read this novella that I wrote, and let's write songs about it, right? I never released the novella. We just used it as source material for and like lore for the album. Like you want to know overdone? We made the fucking concept up, wrote a novella, wrote the album about it, and then just that's it. That's it.
So now what you got to do is you got to record it in audiobook format, and then you got to release it as interludes in your next album.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like after we did the concept album, we were like, I remember talking to Brittany from Unleash the Arches about it. She loved the idea of the concepts of just a concept album. She's like, there's structure, there's a start, and there's an end. Like she liked the process of writing concept albums. Whereas after the one that we did, we were like, man, let's just write fucking songs that we like, right? Like Odinfist's next album, like I don't think, like I know for us, I think we're doing a 4-song EP. One song is going to be called All Father. One song is going to be called Masquerade. And then I don't know. And then Metal Mancer is one of the songs, and Riff Master. So, like, it's very much like that. It's we've decided that it's just like, you know what, we're gonna write just some shit that we like.
Yeah.
And we went for it. So it's we're finally like done the songs. So now we're jamming in a recording studio. So recording's gonna be pretty quick. But yeah, man, that's those are things. Another thing that I've gone overboard on is actually Armstrong Metalfest itself. it kind of started out as like just a wild party that I got kind of told after the first one happened by some local people, being like, "That's good and all, but like it'll never happen again.
Uh-oh.
Like it's not like that's not a thing, right?" And like I was like, "It'll never happen again, eh?"
That gets the
Okay.
wheels turning.
I'm like, don't ever fucking tell me anything like that.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
don't deal with
Fuck
that
you.
very well. Yeah, like no, you don't say something's not gonna happen because motherfucker, I can work harder than you know I can. Like, yeah, yeah.
And it happened
I
again.
fuck and it happened again and again and again and again and again.
And it's gonna
And
fucking
now
happen again.
there is a subculture of people in Canada where if you mention the word Armstrong, those fucking people don't think of cheese.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
do.
mean?
I do.
We think of cheese too. And you know, it's funny because like I know the family where Armstrong cheese came from. Like they're local.
I
Like
also
they
think
didn't
about.
go away.
I also think about Stretch Armstrong because I had one when I was a kid.
Oh fuck.
I was like,
See, that's
there's.
the thing about the word Armstrong.
I
Eh?
was
Like
like,
there's
there's.
lots of Armstrong.
Right? There's no way that a real person can have that as a fucking name. And then I went to school with a fucking kid named Louis Armstrong, and his whole family, Paul, and fucking there was another older brother, and then there was another kid who they weren't related, but his name was Armstrong too. His name's Trevor Armstrong, and he grew up with the nickname Cheese.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah, he did. But even with even with all that fucking small town fucking bullying nonsense, as far as I know, he's doing fucking really well. I know that for being bullied in my
Fucking A.
childhood, I'm doing pretty fucking good.
Yeah. It happens, man. You know, actually, yeah, it's funny. It's funny about thinking about the flames that you're forged on. Can do you mind if we get extremely personal and extremely deep for maybe
Jump,
5 minutes?
jump right in, buddy.
Okay, so this is gonna be some heavy shit. Okay, so I remember I'm about to tell you a story that not many people have heard. Now this is a story of the first time I ever had to become a leader. I was 9 years old, and we were in basement, or we were in the living room. My brother Tyler, my brother Clay, we were all in the living room watching Men in Black, and like we're like sitting there. My brother comes down to me and goes, he's like, "Dad's sleeping." I'm like, "Dad's sleeping?" He's like, "Yeah, we can go and get some candy because it was the day after Halloween." Comes up to me, he tells me this, and I'm like, "Dad's not sleeping. It's like 7 o'clock, man." We go upstairs and we look at him, and he's laying on the floor, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So as a kid, you go up and you're like, if we take candy and he busts us, we're fucked. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So I go and I try to wake him up, and that's when I realized like he passed away. And I was 9 years old. Now this is me as a leader, right? Like I've never had to take the reins in my life. As an older brother, you do sometimes, but not like truly. So I like look at my brother and I'm like, man, like, okay, well, we need an adult. So we go next door and we knock on the door and we're like, hey, like, I look at him and I start crying because I'm like, my dad's dead. And these two people come over to our house, a man and a woman, probably 25, maybe 30 years old. They come over, they pull up the phone, they start doing the adult things. They call 911, right? And then, they start doing the checks, and then the person on the phone says to the woman, says, "Hey, like, okay, well, we've got an ambulance coming. You guys need to perform 911." So she looks at her husband and goes, "Hey, you need to perform CPR, right? And he looks at her, and then he looks at me, and he says these fucking words: "I will not put lips to another man."
Ooh.
Right? Me, now this is the first time that I ever had to become a leader. And I looked at him as a 9-year-old kid, and I looked at the woman, and the woman just looked resigned. And I was like, well, I guess I'll do it as a 9-year-old kid. So I asked for the phone, and as a 9-year-old kid, I sat there and I did CPR on my dad until paramedics showed up. You know, I tell this story because the flames that were forged, that made us the people that we are, really these things in life, and they make us relate to everybody around us, right? Like I don't share that story very often. And one of the things that I've noticed in the pandemic is that I don't fucking see anyone. I don't get to talk about the pains that I go through on a daily basis. You know, I got my significant other,
Yeah.
but like, man, you can't just fucking talk her ear off with all your fucking bullshit all the time.
No.
You know, and you know, I'm not saying, and I didn't mean to tell that story to dump everything on everybody else, but
No,
like,
no, that's not it at all.
it's
No, no, no. I
it
didn't do
is
that at all.
it's good. It's good. No, but like, it's good to hear other people's pain and problems because you're not alone in it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like when I, and so like neat and like, you know, I had to grow up on that day, and like that's kind of why I'm such a fucking weirdo about planning and being like the group dad everywhere I go. You know what I mean? Because I have to like, well, I'm gonna plan the things and I'm gonna do this, and you know, I have gone traveling with some people who did not think of me as a great traveling companion because I was more, instead of a sack of let's help get things done and get to the hotel on time. But like, it's just, I think it's important. I think it's important for people to talk and go overboard with ideas. Take initiatives. Try to be a leader. Try to recognize when you do good things. You know? Share painful stuff. And you hide all the bad stuff. Like, the bad stuff, you know, it's not that bad. It can be. Well, some of it is. Some of it's really bad. But not all of it is, you know?
That's right. That's right. I'm glad. You know what, man? I'm really grateful that you could share that with me. I'm glad that you feel like. I'm glad that you noticed that we have a good enough relationship that you can share that kind of stuff with me, man. I really appreciate that. I can't
Yeah.
I obviously can't relate to something as deep as that, but I've gone through my fucking fair share of hard times. Both parents drug addicts, and you know, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna try and talk your story. My story will come out on a different episode, sure enough. But I'm really glad that you could
Yeah.
share that with me, buddy. I fucking really appreciate that. You know, I know a lot. Everybody's got stuff. That's why we are together in this community. That's why we express ourselves in this way, because we know that the only other way to fucking express the way we feel would be dangerous and ruin our lives.
Ah, yes. Yes. Well, like I told you, man, like, what here's another thing that I went overboard on. Because when I say that I'm gonna do something, I do it. And I fucking mean it. You know what I mean? I don't just, like, if I'm wishy-washy about something, it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if I say, yes, this is going to happen, you know that I will literally go to the fucking ends of the earth to make goddamn sure that did not, that I won't go back on my things that I did, you know, when I was 25 years old, is I quit drinking altogether. Mostly because I acquired a lifetime's worth of drinking stories by the age of 25, to which most of them will come out over the years, and some of them are epic tales of epicness. Some of them not so great.
See, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that.
Everybody
Because
has that.
it's true. It's funny you say that because I'm starting to transition out of drinking as well. Um, and it's the reason I say
Yeah.
it's funny you say that is because what I've started to realize is, yeah, I've had all the fun times that can really be had with drinking excessive amounts of alcohol, and now the drinking excessive amounts of alcohol has become nothing but a detriment to everything I'm trying to do in my life. And it's to see that.
Nothing good happens after 10, man.
Well, that's just it, to see that change. Well, I'm hoping to change that. I'm hoping to have a little nighttime fucking at festivals. I'm hoping to have a little nighttime roundtable podcast at the end of every night
Oh,
with a couple of people.
man,
You know?
the festivals, all the festivals, I like, and as someone who doesn't drink, those festivals are some of the most important times of my life,
And
because
that's what I want to
it's
be
a time
sober for.
where, though I don't drink, I get loose. You know what I mean? I get loose and I go out and I can hang out with people. I can talk to people. People are comfortable. Like I'm social lubricant because I'm socially lubed up as is, you know? But like it's just, like festivals and that kind of stuff. Where was I getting at? Oh yes, with the going overboard. So I had acquired all of my drinking stories by the age of 25, and I quit drinking.
Yeah.
All but 3 shots of Jägermeister in 2017 at the Metal Festival, uh, as a part of the Metal Olympics, which, if I remember correctly, I won that year, and then they put my face on the shirt for the following year. Um, but
Nice.
like, other than that, like I agreed to do that because like Brad was basically told me, he's like, it's part of the event, you need to do it. Um, and he's like, it's either that or hot sauce, like severe hot sauce. And I was like, I don't think I'd be able to survive the hot sauce. So give me the Jaeger, please. I miss
Yeah.
that wonderful taste. I wish they had
Ugh.
like a squeeze bottle so that I can just make like fucking soda water taste like Jägermeister. You know what I mean? Like did you ever drink Jaeger and waters? Like that was one of my favorite
Okay,
drinks.
so when
Like
I drank Jägermeister, it was by the fucking bottle, by the 40 or 60, and it was fucking passed around until,
yeah.
or it was specifically in fucking D-bombs, like fucking distillery, distortion fucking Jaeger bombs. And by the motherfucking bucket, like, Mark would line them the fuck up. And that's another person who's quit drinking entirely. Like Mark Russell doesn't even eat fucking meat now.
Yeah.
Like, so, and that's just another thing. I'm starting to see the professionals that I look up to and that
Wild.
I admire and that I fucking that I've taken on as mentors. They're all backing away from it too. And it's like, well, most of the people that I see as role models in my life are 10, 15 years older than me. So if I can figure that out, I just turned 30 in November. So if I can figure this out now and get ahead of it, then like I can really make some good changes and do some valuable stuff for people when I go out and do my thing. Just like you are, right? So to
Damn
transit,
straight, man.
like, alcohol's got its
Well, you
place.
know what? It was getting tough. It was getting tough back in 2014, I think it was, when so Calgary Metal Fest was happening, right? And that was the first time I ever met Jeff Burry, right? Him and I had our set up beside each other, and that was the last year that I drank, and I was a firecracker. Like Nate threw me out he threw me out of Calgary Metalfest. Like I had to leave. I talked my way back in, but they kicked me out. Like, just a little too wild. And like that's the thing is, I like look back and you know, part of it's part of the legend, and part of it is part of the success because I think because of those times led me to different times, which like
I can
right
relate to
bar.
that as well.
But like, and now I like look at it and I'm like, I know where I'm in control. Back in those days, it was not just out of control, but I was like out of control on purpose to see where I'd end up, right? Just spin the top and see where it goes. And like, it was fun. It got me to a lot of places, and I met a lot of people because of it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have did it any differently. Like, yeah, it was great. And now I drink soda waters. I love my coffee. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, mostly because my kids are up at that time. But how I get up. I worked night shift for years and years and years, so like the early morning is kind of like my time.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up at 5 in the mornings on the weekends and fucking. So like, I want to do. I'm gonna. There's a bunch of streaming stuff I want to try because of my schedule, my work schedule, and what I'm trying to do. I work. I get up at 5 in the morning. I go to work, and I'm home by 5 at night, and then I don't do anything because I know if I go out and do anything, I'm gonna be getting to bed late, and that's just gonna start the snowball roll to have a shitty fucking day, shitty week, and it goes from there. So I'm gonna be trying to fire
Yeah.
up a fucking like Saturday morning coffee stream to just talk about random fucking shit with whoever wants to come on board, or like I'm gonna be watching YouTube videos of ridiculous stuff that I find. Like I've been finding some crazy conspiracy stuff lately that has absolutely nothing to do with the current situation of the world and the economy, and it's just been a breath of fresh air to hear ridiculous stuff coming from shit in the world right now that,
Yeah.
that doesn't have the word COVID or mask or vaccine anywhere to be fucking heard,
Oh God.
And it's like this is so. Like,
Oh man.
so like
I
there's
just.
there's a theory, right? There's a theory going around out there right now that our history was stolen from us, and it was rewritten in the late 1800s, the late like 1880, and everything before
Yeah.
that is like a fabrication. And they hid what they're hiding. What they're hiding is an ancient, not an ancient civilization, but a modern civilization that stretched back to ancient times and reached all over the globe. Like we even in Canada, we even have remnants of this fucking, they call it the mud floods, that they were able to use to fucking do a reset and wipe out the fucking memory of this civilization. So yeah, I want to do some Saturday morning streams to just get freaky with people and fucking see what comes out of it, right? Because I like to, there's weird stuff out there, man.
Okay, so I told you about my flat Earth call that I had, right?
No.
By
I
the
would've
look on your
remembered.
face, looks like you. Okay, so again, because I'm someone who goes overboard on a lot of shit, I've overdone it a few times, and they called on the radio. I was at work, right, just working away, and over the radio they said they're like, yeah, so this guy flew a balloon up into the sky to see if the Earth was round or flat, and he got up there and he couldn't get high enough, so he decided, and if there's any flat Earthers out there who'd like to call in and discuss some flat Earth theory with us, right? Me being the asshole that I am,
Yeah, oh fuck yeah.
I called
As a flat earther.
and I was like, hey. I was like, oh yeah. I am okay. Now, full disclosure, I want this on the record.
You checked it
I
out.
am not a flat earther. I am a regular person. This shit resembles the globe, okay? So
Jesse's head is an
Earther?
oblate spheroid.
Yeah, it's pretty close, you know. So I just like I called them and I was like, yeah, I'm a flat earther, and so I think the first thing that they said to me, they're like, if the world is flat, like you can see online, like on NASA.com or whatever, you can see that the world's round. Like you can see it. They have satellites showing the world. I'm like, man, you can't trust everything you see on a screen. Everything you can put anything on a screen and say it's a live satellite feed. Like that doesn't mean nothing, right? So I said that, right? First first thing that I shouldn't have really said, but I did it anyways. And they're like, okay, well, like, and then I decided to piggyback off of a different conspiracy theory just to really get in there. And I was like, well, just like anything can be on the screen. Like for example, the moon landing. I'm not saying it's not rigged. All I'm saying is it was on a screen and put out to the masses. We don't know. And then what did they say? They're like, oh, well, you know what? There's been like hundreds of scientists that have said like that the world is round and not flat. And then I retorted saying like, who are these scientists and what are their credentials? And they're like, well, we don't we don't have that offhand. I'm like, it's just like anyone can say that they're a scientist and anyone can say anything. You can't just take it by that. And they're like, okay. Like we're okay. And what was the last thing? And I said to him, I'm like, and you know, I'd like to further flat version of the globe. Australia would be on the other side of the map from Canada. That being said, have you met anyone who's flown to Australia in less than 24 hours? If you look at a globe, it looks like it's the same distance from Vancouver to Australia than Vancouver to Dublin. Yet it takes 8 hours to go there and it takes 24 to go there. And that's when I fucked myself up because
You're like, wait a sec.
I started believing my bullshit.
Wait, that's true shit. Wait. Okay, you guys, I gotta hang
I
up the
talked to an
call.
Australian guy and he told me, yeah, well, no, and then I got off and then they played the whole fucking 2.5 minute interview, right, where I was just spouting off about, and the thing is, I have a lot of flair. I was really hitting the buzzwords because just like retorting every flat earther meme that I've ever thought,
Oh, fuck yeah.
like making the problem worse.
They all say
Like
the
I was
same thing.
definitely creating more of an issue. I know. It was easy, but it was also making, like I said, making the global problem worse. I was not fixing anything. I was making it worse.
You're
I was doing it with
perpetuating
a
the
smile on
madness,
my
Jesse.
face because I'm yeah, yeah. Because I like to have fun.
And with your local fucking radio station too, where everybody's like, now you got people like, was Jesse fucking? Is he like? If people jump into this at the wrong time, they're gonna hear you talking about it, and they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, yeah, I was hitting every point. Like they hit me with this one, and like, is Jesse arguing for the points of flat Earth right now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the thing, right? And it's just I like being a total fucking wad, and
That's
it's
good.
okay.
That's good, healthy, wholesome fun, though. You know, like that's wholesome shit. Like
Yeah.
some of the pranks that people pull to like have a laugh.
You're not hurting anybody.
Exactly. Like some of the stuff people pull is ridiculous. I'm not gonna make an example because I don't want to go down that fucking path, but it's stupid. Like me doing the YouTube thing now, trying to do the show, and like I'm trying to get as many views as possible, and I'm trying to get hit the algorithm right, so that every time I do put something out there, a new band out there, I can actually give some bands some exposure. But in order to do that, there's certain things you gotta fucking do that I'm just not willing to fucking do. Like I'm not gonna ring every one of my guests for some sort of controversial story that I can fucking make clickbait out of. I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just go after the fucking bands that everybody wants to fucking hear from, because those aren't the bands that are necessarily the fucking best, or the ones that work the hardest, or even necessarily the bands that I fucking enjoy listening to, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I have the best year for music, but that's why I also have a team of fucking people that help me on the podcast. You know, I do have a set of advice. Nathaniel from No Hope for the Lost is like my top dog advisor. He's the guy I go to with all my decisions before I make them, just in case I'm about to go overboard.
Yeah.
Like, I was about to pay for a whole bunch of graphics for the show, and I was like, hey, I found this new artist. And he went through and looked. He's like, you know what? I don't think any of this is really gonna add anything to what you're trying to do. And then I like thought about it for a sec. I was like, fuck,
Damn straight.
I just got a new computer, like a fancy new computer. I might as well learn how to fucking use it, because I can actually use it to do this stuff now. So I go to Nathaniel for all this. I go to Nathaniel for these ideas. But my main thing, my heart and soul, no matter how big this gets, no matter what I can do, my heart and soul sits in the underground. My heart and soul sits with those bands that come from the small towns that get their fucking chance, and that band is their only fucking way to get out of that small town. And they get out there and they get their shot, and they work their hardest, and they know all the bands that they're playing with, and they fucking thank you, and I thank you so much for letting us do this, and oh, it's so great to see your set. You know, those grateful, genuine people that might not necessarily feel like if they were to put their voice out there other than their music, like it would be like they don't want to brag about themselves. They don't want to talk about themselves. They're just grateful to be fucking making the music and having people give them shows and go do it. And I say that because that's exactly who I was, you know? So I want to build the platforms of those bands. Have somewhere, a beacon that they can come to, and they can be like, all right, I can show this to Nate, and Nate's going to fucking put it out. You know, this is the guy who everybody can go to. This is the guy that everybody's going to work with. We don't have to worry about fucking paying to, like, you know, paying to be in a lineup.
Make it work.
For, like, a review and because there's, you know, and I'm not shitting on people who do that, because that's what people do. I started free, and I go out as free.
It's part of
you know,
business.
That's a business angle that Nathaniel, local band Smoke Out, that's what they do, and they fucking make it work because they are able to add value. They've been able to build a platform on top of almost 3,000 videos, and it's going up in followers every day, and now they're out in Australia as well. And like, I'm just Nick Trash sitting in Calgary trying to fucking pour his heart out for these fucking bands, so that the bands don't have to have as hard of a time as I did with World Class White Trash, you know, because I feel like we missed a lot of opportunities that we might not have missed if we would have had somebody to fucking say, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of fucking advice here on some things, but I'm not going to give it to you in a fucking mean, disregarding way. I'm actually going to jump on your team, and I'm going to jump in your corner, and I'm going to fucking help you out. Because if that would have happened for us, maybe World Class White Trash would still be around to this day, you know? Who knows? But that's the plan. It's the same thing as you're doing.
The times are different, man.
Yeah, so an obvious rebranding would have probably came along for sure. Just to fucking... We were already working on that in like 2017, so we were ahead of the curve.
Really?
Yeah, we were just gonna go WCWT and go with just, instead of having the whole word
just the acronym.
We were just gonna go with the acronym and see what happened, and hope that, because with World Class White Trash, it came out because of exactly what it was. We're just fucking small town white trash fucking guys, so that's where it came out of. But that's not a very inclusive name once you get to it, and we don't have, not all of our friends are white trash, so it kind of doesn't make sense to carry that on these days. And Darcy might disagree with me in some sense, but Darcy's not making music anymore. Darcy's out in the fucking bushes trucking fucking 29 hours a day, so he gets off work at like fucking 4:96 in the morning. So
yeah.
I I do still talk to Darcy. Darcy is still alive, but there's definitely.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's and like I guess he's still like sits next to a guitar every now and again.
Oh, good. That's fucking awesome, man.
We actually
Yeah.
we jammed last summer, and I ate a whole bunch of mushrooms, and we played a bunch of world class White Trash
Yeah.
songs, and it was fucking. It was an extreme experience. It was intense.
Felt good.
It felt odd to say the least, but like now that's kind of where the energy is going for Horrify. So it was weird to have that
Yeah.
jam, and then like everything kind of fall together for Horrify, and it's really cool how it worked out. Like I'm really excited to fucking hit the stage with this band because it's fast, it's intense, and it's gonna be a lot of fun for everybody who's there to see the show too. And I'm kind of hitting the stage again with a new vigor and a new set of experience to like get a crowd going and to actually interact with the crowd properly. And it's gonna be really, and not just that, I have a new eye for recording shows and like getting video for shows and properly fucking cataloging and like recording so that we can get a fucking archive of these fucking killer shows. And I'm hoping that it's gonna be the sight that I'm seeing in my head. You know, at least 15 people. At least 15 people.
You know what? I like how your mind works very similar to mine, where we just let the dream just kind of manifest, and then just be like, okay, here it is. Now we got to get there.
That's
Exactly. Not just live in the dream, like have it, and then point yourself into the direction, right? Like that's.
So there's another person that you should probably meet. His name's Coco Lee. He plays for a band called Eternal Prophecy, and he's another mentor I've kind of taken on here. He helps me out with like my organization of goals. He's got a very like direct and I don't want to say simple, but the way he's able to explain it when I ask him questions, like there's zero ego, there's zero over exaggeration, there's nothing except for the pure, like he wants to share this information with me. So when I go to him with questions about like goals or about like trying to organize, I'm really trying to figure out how to get my scheduling down pat so I can properly schedule everything that I'm trying to do in my life and actually do it instead of just sit around and talk about it. So you should definitely meet the guy. He also played for All Else Fails, and I'm pretty sure All Else Fails played Armstrong before.
Oh yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, they did. They did do that. Yes.
But that's a great. It's goals.
That's
lately. The goals are all that I can really think of, especially now that my daughter's getting older. She turns 8 in April. Manifesting goals is the only thing I can fucking keep my mind on because I gotta be able to set an example for her and give her the advice to do it on her own. You know, one of my biggest rules is to never take advice from people who haven't been able to apply that advice in their own life. Like it's a little rule of thumb.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that.
And Nathaniel's another one too.
I dig it.
Who helped keep me leveled and all this stuff. He helps keep me organized with my goals and fucking keep me moving forward instead of getting caught up in my own thoughts and then just getting broken apart from it. So, yeah, we kind of got off topic there. Kind of got a little bit off topic. So,
yeah, that's all right.
It's great to see.
I think I better get going pretty quick anyways.
It's getting late. We both got to work in the morning. It's not the end of the week yet. You know, your week never truly ends because you run your own company.
Not yet, no.
But Jesse,
you know what?
You're a sweet fucking angel.
Yeah, man. No,
keep going. Keep going.
Well, thank you ever so much.
Keep going.
I try my best. I want to just thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you making time and like it makes me happy, like talking, hanging out, getting some social time in, and like yeah,
I'm
yeah,
always
it's
here to
it's
chat,
really
man.
nice.
If you got any stuff you want to talk about, or even if you
Fucking
want to
A.
have a fucking off-air chat and just fucking shoot the shit, you know,
Yeah, man.
I'm always available to talk.
I may take you up on that.
I'm always here. I always answer my
Yeah,
messages.
lots of my friends know that sometimes yeah. Yeah, man. No, I much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Now, before we sign off, is there any particular like special shoutouts you want us to throw down?
Yeah, so let's start with the specifically the Armstrong crew that's working right now. So like it takes a lot to make the festival tick. And right now the people who are Joey, Kate, Heather, Andrew, Breton, myself, Kiri. Yeah, yeah, our crew we're working hard right now, and it's gonna be a fair amount of work for the next month and a bit, and then it's gonna ramp up quite a bit as soon as yeah, no, big shout out to them. Big shout out to the to you know Nick, Jesse, Braden, Brittany, Milan. He was an instrumental person to the whole Kelowna scene. You big shout out to yeah, big shout out to them. But yeah, other than that, no man, that's it.
Hell yeah, buddy. If you check, if anybody watching right now scrolls up in the chat, I have put the link to the GoFundMe for Brittany right at the very top of the chat when we start the interview. So scroll up, have a look. If you can send a couple bucks, send it. We also got the Matt Depper Memorial shirts coming soon too, where all the proceeds of that are going to be donated directly to Brittany. So everybody's going to have a little piece, and that, like I said, that design is coming directly from Braden. So everybody's going to have a little piece to hold on to, and I'm very stoked that me and Reed Reed and I were able to. I kind of bombarded him with messages. He just had a baby, and I bombarded him with messages. I'm like, okay, can we do this, please? It's like my first deal with Cursed Earth. I want to set this up, and I want to do this for them. And he, of course, he was all over it. Like he's already got a plan in his head for charity work and stuff. He's like, yeah, we got it figured out. We just got to do it this way and this way, you know.
Perfect.
We're gonna run the pre-sales through the Cursed Earth Apparel Big Cartel site, so that all numbers can be sent to Brittany and to the. We got a group chat going on, so there's full transparency at all times, and hopefully we can raise a bunch of money and everybody can have some sick fucking shirts, right? So I would also like to shout out my
Damn
sponsors.
straight, man.
My sponsors, Octave Studios, Medicine Hat, Nathaniel's in the chat. Nathaniel, I love you, buddy. I honestly could not do any of this without you. You're instrumental in keeping this fucking show moving forward. And the path is always forward, buddy. Always fucking moving forward. So, we're sponsored by Absolute Underground Magazine. We're sponsored by Mount Bistro Pizzeria in Bragg Creek. Go for that Flames Pizza. It's the goodest, best good stuff. We're also sponsored by Nick the Music Dude. Trash Talk Studios is going to be a fucking real deal thing and not just some random ramblings like I usually like to do. Also sponsored by, of course, Cursed Earth Apparel and Print. Shout out to Reed and the new baby, little sweet Ripley. He's going to be coming back into the shop soon, so we can get some stuff moving forward. And shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you so much, Jesse. Shout out to you and the Armstrong Metalfest crew. Thank you so much. I'm going to be talking to my team, and we're going to be planning on making this fucking trip out there. And I am so stoked. I really, really can't wait to fucking see everybody and get it all captured on fucking tape and get it all edited up and fucking have a little chunk of something and maybe turn that into a yearly thing for these festivals and fucking have a good time. See everybody having a good time and have the conversations again and have the fucking slaps on the back and the slaps on the fucking belly and, you know, yelling at people on stage and fucking very excited for it, buddy. And I'm very glad that you're fucking gonna do all you can to make that happen again. I appreciate you, bro, and everything you do.
Absolutely. I can't wait for it to actually just happen.
I know, buddy. I know.
That's all I'm looking forward to.
It's
I just
an
want it to
emotional.
happen.
It's definitely a fucking emotional thing.
Anyway,
I can
sir.
only imagine from where you're sitting. I can only imagine from where you're sitting, buddy. But like I said,
it's gonna work out. And it's gonna be great.
yeah, it is. Like I said, my inbox is always open if you want to chat, man. Fucking send me a message. We'll set up a call, and we don't gotta record it every fucking call we have. That's for damn sure.
Sounds good to me, brother.
All right,
Okay.
buddy. So for everybody watching the stream, thank you so much. Jesse, you can sign off the call now. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Sleep well, my friend. We'll talk soon. So for everybody still watching, thank you all so much for tuning in. That was Jesse Valstar. He is one of the greatest people I know, and I can't thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to go out there this year and do my thing that I'm trying to do best, you know. And Horfy's on the reserve list, so if enough bands cancel and then enough reserve bands cancel, maybe Horfy will get out there. Who knows? My fingers aren't crossed for it because, like I said before, we haven't even played a show yet. So there's a lot of other bands out there that definitely fucking deserve it more than we do. So hopefully they get their shots and they can get out there and play, and everybody fucking can get their chance to get out and play. But if you're from Calgary, you're watching, Horfy is going to be hitting the stage. Let's see if I can get my camera back in here real quick because this is odd. So we are going to be hitting the stage. Video capture. There it is. There we go. Oh, look how big that guy is. So we're going to be hitting the stage February 25th with Pride Lance from Red Deer, with Spitison from here in Calgary. The sweetest sweetheart Sasha has put it together. Thank you so much, Sasha. It's going to be a late birthday celebration for our good friend Ryan. Ryan behind camera. Ryan, hopefully you can come up to fucking Armstrong with us this year. I'm going to need my camera guy there. So, we're going to be playing some killer shit. We've been practicing hard. Well, I've been practicing my ass off. I haven't been able to make it jam because of lifetime stuff. But you don't need to hear that kind of stuff. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I love every one of you. I'm going to be streaming this weekend. Crazy morning streams, like I said. If anybody's got any stuff they want to promote, if you got any small businesses that you want to promote, if there's any streamers watching that want to collaborate, if you got something, an interesting story that you want to come on and do an interview, let's do it. I got the station set up again. Everything's ready to rock. So, let's fucking kill this interview thing and let's get these bands promoted and let's get everybody noticed and let's fucking promote the fucking positivity and well-being in the scene, you know, because that's what needs to happen right now. I'm going to bed. I gotta work in the morning. So cheers, guys. You're all fantastic. I love you very much so. And treat each other good and be nice to each other and go practice your instrument with a metronome, with a click track. Go practice with a click track, please. You're terrible without it. Everybody should know that, unless you're playing live or jamming. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm Nate Trash. You're amazing. That was Jesse Valstar. We'll see you on Saturday morning, and if not, we'll see you Monday. Oh yeah, I guess I'll just announce this now, if anybody's watching. Darren Wall from Greyhawk. Also, Metal Show Shooting Survivor is going to be coming on the show Monday to talk about his fucking amazing band, Greyhawk, and his big muscles and how he bends steel with them, and of course, the fucking active shooter incident in which he got shot and he named the bullet in his leg. So, come back Monday because it's going to be fucking sweet. You're all amazing. I'll stop fucking talking now. Cheers, guys.